I'm not his mom. I'm not going to keep track of him. Oh no. Yeah. Been ready for D&D. I know, I was just... Yay! Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'm done. That's how it should be. Yeah. Yeah. Done. Yeah. Yeah. Good for her. Congratulations for finally going. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, my grandfather was like that too. He was so ready. He was just waiting.
Especially after your grandma died.
Well, on that positive note.
On that positive note, let's start some D&Ds. So I'm gonna keep Jax covered for now, as he has not rejoined the group yet. Jax had his own little adventure going on while everybody was doing other stuff. So, quick recap, because it's been a hot second. Last session was the brilliant execution of the Burlesque, my big beautiful boy who wasn't able to do anything. However, immediately after the Burlesque fell, the ground began trembling once again. This time, though, it was just Boar uprooting himself, coming to say hi, Having been trapped by the Boulesque, he somehow triggered Jack's memory orb, causing him to go into a catatonic state. After a very short and strange conversation with Boar, he stepped away with Jax as you all watched him, his face and his body constantly changing and warping into different peoples. After Jax's stage left exit, you all harvested what you could from the Boulesque, including the strange residuum within and some of the infused meat. After consuming the meat, everyone went into kind of like a meditative state, digesting the energy that was within it. After that, the following day, you decided to follow the creature's burrow, looking for its home, and possibly the underground river. When you finally arrived where the Boulesque rested, you find a few pieces of strange creatures and peoples, skeletons, and also some items left behind by victims from over the years, and including the necklace of teeth, the little fish and turtle statues, an armband, and a bit of money. Not much, but a bit. And that's where we left off, with Jax in Never Never Land, and everybody underground having just smelled the water from the river, I believe. Dorus did. Somewhere fairly close. So I will leave it. What is it that y'all want to do in your next step?
So the bag, we got 12 platinum, 23 gold, the necklace of teeth, and then a small statue of fish. A detailed small statue of fish.
And turtle.
And turtle. Oh, I forgot the turtle. Fish and turtle. I took a note.
It is literally his only note from the entire campaign.
Yep. The only note I've taken for any campaign ever.
Now
it's
I know.
Progress.
I just need to give Loot to make him take notes.
That's right. Loot. Loot or levels. And Neffels.
Loot.
Nude loot. So are we still in the cave right now?
Yeah, y'all are definitely still there.
Shall we continue further?
Yeah, can we follow the river still, or?
Absolutely.
There was a path leading to it, I believed.
The path leading towards the river is not nearly as large as the burrow that the Boulesque had made, though it does seem to have allowed the creature to squeeze through to be able to drink if it needed to. And it goes down at a slight angle, enough of one where you will slip a little bit and kind of you can slide down a little bit of the way if you so choose instead of walking. Of course, our creatures with flying abilities can just fly down.
That is true.
You probably forgot
Just
you could fly
float down.
again.
Float down.
Yeah. Trying to get Atomos down will be a test of wills between Iue, Nima, and Atomos.
Should I
So
roll animal handling?
I am gonna make you roll animal handling for Atomos.
Is Nima granting me advantage?
She will grant you advantage.
You're all gonna hear a clunk because I'm using my metal one.
Dunk.
Oh, that was horrible. I rolled 2 2s.
Unfortunate.
4.
A 4. So, at this point, you have tried to console him. You have tried to just push him, pull him, anything that you can think of, and he has not moved. Nimu and Dorus are just kind of like waiting patiently, in the sidelines, maybe having already gone down, maybe not. A good 20 minutes into
Oh yeah,
trying.
I'm following. What is it? Night?
You're underground. You don't know.
It's underground.
Okay. Yeah, but it's like, is it? I mean,
It
what
would be
kind of
early.
light
It would be
source
in the
is-
morning. It would be Dorus's skull, human skull on a stick.
Okay,
I
I'm
also
gonna,
have my sword on fire.
I'm gonna summon my dancing lights and see if Nemo will play with them.
Okay. So after even Nemu has tried to convince Atomos to go down, she goes and dances with the lights, and you end up having to take off your shirt, tie it around his eyes, which he has tried to buck you off multiple times as you do this, and literally cartoon style push his big ass into a slide down into where the river is. He stomps and snorts as soon as he hits the bottom, and as soon as you take that shirt off his eyes, he will try and bite you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Unfortunately.
Dex. 14.
A 14. You know, luckily he is not intentionally trying to hurt you, but just kind of set you back in your place, remind you that he is the bigger animal. So he doesn't bite you, but he does knock you a little bit. And as Atomos finishes throwing his fit, everybody now gets a chance to look around this area. The water here isn't... It's hard to tell. It looks like it's moving incredibly quick. But knowing that the water looks as if it's moving, even in a vial, it's very hard to tell how quick it's going by. Within the water itself, it is crystal clear. Nemu just has his dancing lights throughout this small area. And as one of them moves across the top of the water, Nima flying around and trying to chase it, a strange fish leaps out of the water and tries to grab it. Though, of course, it can't. You now know that there's something swimming within this river, though you can't quite see the bottom. You can, however, see where it has gradually worn away at this tunnel that it has made its path through. Here, at least, you do see old areas where maybe the water at one point was much higher, but as the water has receded a little bit, has left sometimes incredibly narrow, but areas along the sides to where, at least in this area, you can walk. So, are we going to continue following the river?
I think we should.
Does it lead in like two separate directions?
It does. One will go towards the farm, which y'all are quite a few hours away from now. And then one is going to continue going, I believe you're going to be almost directly south, maybe just a little bit west of where you thought you would be heading.
So upstream, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to investigate the water real quick before we move on and just see if it moves in the same strange way.
Okay.
I want to try and catch one of the fish as it like jumps up.
Okay. So you and Nemu are on a fishing expedition?
Yep, we'll do some fishing.
Like I'm gonna tie a dagger to some rope,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try and do like some makeshift spear fishing.
With a rope.
Yeah.
Okay. Jazz, how would you like to do this?
I just pick up a handful of water in the palm of my hand and see if it buzzes or vibrates in a strange way.
All right. So as you reach down, the first thing you feel, actually, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, is that it's
10
not
total.
10. Okay. It's not quite as if you put your hand in extremely hot water. It's almost as if you're in a sandstorm, where just the movement of it feels like it's cutting into your skin. Just these tiny little... You have been exfoliated. There's no other way to say it. It's microdermabrasion right now on your hand. But you can feel that the current here is moving quite quickly. And as you kind of pull up some water and it pulls in your hand, it does still seem to have that same movement, which is strange because now that the water in your hand isn't flowing with the current, the water in the river looks the same. So it's going to be nearly impossible to tell the strength of the current until you throw something in it or place your hand in it.
I mentioned to the crew, I think that the water here is infused or something. It's very abrasive and it seems to be accelerating the erosion.
Y'all are in the same area. As Ioe's trying to secure his rope to this dagger.
Does it look like any sand or anything's going through it? Like, does it look like anything's in it? No. So it's just clear water.
Yeah.
That makes your skin shiny and smooth.
Yeah, it does. Right. And shine. I'm probably the only person here who's ever seen that movie. Okay.
I'm looking at some of my spells. Hold on. I've got a shape water spell that I'm kind of...
Oh, interesting. So, Ioe, as Nemo is playing with his lights and lost in concentration a little bit, just zipping them over the water, a fish darts, and you see it just barely under the surface, and right before it leaps, it has like a shimmer to it, almost like a type of illumination. It's a... What is this, just an attack roll with your dagger?
I'm just throwing the dagger.
Okay,
yeah.
so rolled for hit fish? Moving
Hit
fish?
20.
Oh, 20.
Jesus Christ. You hit fish.
You hit fish. We're doing great with the English.
You stabby fish. Fish on a rope.
So Nemo's light flies over, the fish darts up, shimmering this strange light, and your knife pierces straight through, stopping at the hilt. And you are able to pull it back with the rope that's attached to it. Nima is kind of just flying around. I wonder if it tastes good.
Is the fish still alive?
No, not after that.
I probably nearly decapitated it.
I mean, yeah, it's not a massive fish. So...
I will not eat this. Just yet.
I walk over and I shine the light like closer to the fish, and I want to like examine if it looks like a normal fish or does it look like it's been affected by the water in any way.
Absolutely. Nature? History? Nature?
Can I see if it reacts to the light?
It doesn't seem
7.
to. A 7? It doesn't seem to have any visible differences to a normal fish, other than when Ioe goes to draw out his dagger, you hear the scraping of the dagger against the scales. It seems as if the scales themselves have hardened to withstand the force of this water. Very much like the burlesque, who had those incredibly hard scales.
Yeah, well, you cut me off a few scales just for my research.
I'll begin to carefully cut off the scales.
Okay. Sleight of hand.
I have an advantage with that. Except for when I roll below a 10.
Okay.
A 9.
So you're able to recover 9 scales.
Yeah, I'll just take a
From-
couple if I can.
Okay, yeah. So you can have all 9 or grab a few.
Yeah, I'll take 2 of the 9 if that's cool with you.
Okay. 2 scales of.
Can I feel if it's like harder than my scales?
It is not. They are sleeker though. They are much, much smoother, whereas yours are more the texture of like sandstone. Theirs are incredibly smooth. Anything else you guys would like to do?
Well, would you like to eat it cooked, raw? Hey, looking at Nima.
I think I've changed my mind. It doesn't smell right.
Well, let's just put it back in the water then.
So I need you to make a perception check.
Okay, this dice has failed me.
Okay. Perfect.
Perception 1.
So you drop the fish in and turn to continue on the path, unless there's something.
I don't know if Nemu would. So I could shape water. I was trying to find a way to figure out like the properties of this, but I don't really have any spells to do that, and I don't want to touch it because reason.
I mean, stick your face in it. Well, maybe not you.
I'm not gonna stick my beak in that bitch. That's a dirty water.
It would just give you a nice beak shine.
A beak shine. That's true. It would buff my beak. That is fair.
I mean, I have scales I can dip my face in.
This is true.
Ooh. Didn't I buy?
Just if I look a lot smoother when I come out, that's on you.
I thought I bought a bunch of vials and stuff.
We already have vials of water.
We
I have
have
an
samples
alchemist
of
kit.
it. Okay. All right. Cool.
I automatically come with vials with alchemist kit, right?
Yeah. Well, and y'all had also gotten some from the alchemist in Sarantor somewhere.
I think that's all I'd be interested in, but I'd be paying attention to the cave, right? Like if there's any markings, like from people that have been here before.
Investigation, and that's gonna whatever your investigation is gonna hold for a while.
Okay, cool. Because I think I'd be interested in what's here.
It's actually not a bad idea to like take
16.
Okay.
to take different samples from different parts of the river.
Yeah, that would actually be really smart.
I'm not a scientist.
So as you continue walking, you can take samples however frequently you feel like you need to. I do need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, except maybe Nemu if he's going to fly through any areas that are a little bit treacherous.
I'll stay down with the group.
So dexterity saving throw.
You committed yourself to this.
I know.
19.
Okay, very nice.
Ooh,
I
21.
switched my dice.
I need you to roll for Atomos.
Oh. No.
Okay. Dorus?
12.
A 12. So, as you're making your way along the path of this river, Nimu, you don't find any areas other than where you just came from that have any visible markings from an outside source in this area. Though you can see where the burlesque had gone down, however frequently that would have been, down to the water. Scratches from its claws, scrapes from its scales along the ceilings and walls. There are many, many places that narrow quite treacherously. And for the most part, you are able to very carefully make your way across with the help of each other. Until you find an area where the water seems to have narrowly, it just kind of tunneled through this area quite narrowly. The footing is incredibly difficult. And I don't think it is wide enough for Atomos. Though at this point, he's given up to his life and his fate and is just head down following the group until it comes to this one area. It is no more, the water itself is no more than 5-6 feet across. The path no more than 4 or 5 inches. And he begins to slip. He doesn't make a noise. He's over life. He doesn't care. And then he takes Dorus with him. You land in the water. And all of a sudden, Atomos finds once again the fear of everything that is going on. And he starts screaming and snorting. Dorus, as soon as you hit the water, you feel the abrasion, and it's strange. You would assume it's cold, a biting cold, even being how far underground you are, and possibly even where the source is coming from. It should be colder. And at first, the instant you hit it, it feels cold, and then it burns, and then the pain. And then, as something under the water expels force, throwing you and Atomos briefly out of the water, knocking you up against the ceiling inside. Ouch. You take 6 force damage and bludgeoning damage, as well as Atomos, as whatever this thing is sent enough force out to literally blow these 2 fairly decent-sized creatures out of this water. Perception for Nimu and Ioe.
God, my rolls are on point. 18
and 20. As there's this area of water that has been just blown away, you briefly catch the glimpse of what looks like an eel under the water, possibly, though you know, an eel, but about this big around, and
so a sea eel.
5 or 6 feet in length.
A sea eel.
Yes. But you're not, it's a lake or a river.
Response, can I just I still have my rope dagger. I'm just gonna try and chuck it at it.
I want to try to talk to it first.
Oh, this is gonna happen simultaneously. Ioe.
Well, okay. All right.
I have disadvantage. It's underwater, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have
Dorus,
disadvantage.
you get knocked around and land back in the water, though you're quite a bit ways forward now. Luckily, if you would like to try and swim to a ledge that does seem to be a little bit bigger, you can. Ioe, what was your roll?
That would be a 12.
A 12. Unfortunately, that doesn't land. Can't hear you in Discord.
Sorry, I want to do animal friendship.
You're gonna do animal friendship.
Yeah.
Is this a save?
So it depends on what its intellect is.
It's an eel. It's not smart.
Okay. If it's below 4, then it's a 15 save. If it's above 4, then it wouldn't work. So it doesn't like I can't. It's basically a charm for just basic animals. You know,
Okay, so it got an 8.
it fails. So I can now speak. It's so basically, the beast. It's convinced that we mean it no harm. Effectively.
After I just threw a dagger at it.
You just threw a
Perfect.
dagger at it.
Well, I have now soothed it, and I've now convinced it that it.
You've
that we
trank
are-
shot at it.
That we are not. Yeah, with my brain.
Okay.
With my sweet magic.
So, Eoway, your knife on a rope shoots into the water as the water is collapsing back in on itself, missing the creature completely, though you do see it begin to swim towards Dorus and Atomos. The main way that you can see this, besides the very minimal light from dancing lights and Dorus's skull on a stick further up, is that it seems to warp the water around it with the energy that it contains. And I will stop calling it a skull on a stick once I get over that it's a human skull on a stick, Dorus.
It's
a
a
human
staff.
human skull.
It's an elephant with a skull on the stick. It's pretty badass, if you ask me.
And as you look down towards where this creature is swimming, and see Dorus trying to swim to the edge, the force around it suddenly fades, and the water stops warping around it, and it just sinks to where you can no longer see it. Dorus, is there anything special you want to do?
Well, yeah, I just want to make sure I have my shield and staff and I haven't like dropped anything into the water, and then I'll swim as far as I can to get out of the water if there's any way to.
Okay, strength save to make sure you held on to everything? This isn't a thing I normally do, so it'll be a pretty low DC, I guess?
It's 15 total.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just use whatever movement I have, and I guess dash if I need to get out of the water.
Okay, so you begin swimming as hard as you can. Atomos, however, is still screeching.
Does he have reins? Can I like reach out and grab his reins?
You can, yeah.
Do I need to make a check, or can I just try and lead him with me as I go?
Of course. Of course.
He has pretty good. He is good at swimming, I should say.
Okay, I'm gonna. You know what? I want to speak to the horse.
You're gonna speak to the horse.
I need to calm the horse down.
Okay.
I'm gonna do speak with animal.
Okay. What do you say? What do you say to the screaming Atomos?
So I gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with the beast. Let's see, it's limited by their intelligence, but a moon beast can give you information about your. So I'm just asking why he's so upset. I want to know why he's so angry.
I'm dead! I'm dead! I'm dead!
Why are you dead, friend?
He's stuck in the river!
Why are you? You're just gonna get a nice shine. It's fine. Why is he stuck in the river?
Because he fell in the river.
Why did he fall in the river?
We're
Why?
listening.
Why? Why are they in the? Why are you guys swimming in the creek?
Me and the horse
need
both
you to
fell in the water
listen.
because I failed my deck save.
I need you to listen.
That's right. I'm still talking to the horse. I'm trying to calm the horse.
God damn it.
I like how your
I thought
calling
you were
method is
each other.
asking why it's panicking while drowning.
I mean, you got to get to the root of the problem, right?
So, Dorus, you reach over and you grab his reins. And he's still like bucking his head. I'm dead! I'm dead! And he starts
He
swimming
thinks
with
he's
you.
dying. I'm gonna relay that to the rest of the group. He keeps saying, "I'm dead. I'm dead."
I'll just like
can't
it's not gonna
swim!
work, but I'll like
I'm
calm him,
dead!
try and calm him with words at least while I pull on him. I'm just gonna be
Okay.
like, "Trust me, friend. We go out of water now. Let's go over here. Come."
Okay, hold on. I might have something else.
So he will follow you, forgetting that he knows how to swim, but it is a natural instinct of his. Oh, I'm dead.
Let's see. How big is this body of water? Like, you said it was thin at this point.
Yeah,
right?
it's about 5. It's about 5 feet across. Dorus, I need you to make an investigation check with your snoot.
Okay, so how deep is it?
You have no idea.
Okay, so I can basically displace a 5-foot cube of water. So I was gonna put it in where the horse is to keep him dry, so he's not upset.
He's in the water. It'll just be replaced. You got a 20?
24 total.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I can like move it up and out of there.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird. So it says, let's see, instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of the water as you direct.
So I will say this is what happens. Dorus, you're swimming with a screaming horse. Nemu's the only one who can understand what he's saying. And you're just dragging him as he's tossing his head, but he seems to be losing a lot of energy as his voice, "I'm dead." And all of a sudden, the water underneath, specifically Atomos, but a little bit underneath you, reverses flow and kind of helps push you onto this ledge. Where this area goes back to where it had been, whereas it's almost like a beach type thing where this water has just constantly been flowing down. And immediately, the first thing you notice as you're looking back to help Atomos onto this ledge is that you smell Jax. And as you look over as you flip your head around, Jax is just laying there on this ledge. As Atomos makes it up and his hoofs like hit the ground a little bit, still a little bit in the water, he emerges and Nemu would hear, "Ah, I'm not dead. I'm not dead."
You're fine, friend.
And he just uncontrollably begins sneezing, but unfortunately his beautiful mane has been it's a little bit ragged looking. It's a little ragged looking.
I'm gonna be running over there as soon as
Okay.
he gets out.
Okay.
I'm like trying to calm him down.
He's just sneezing as he's gotten way too much water in his nose. So I will leave y'all with Jax as I go get another cookie.
As I try to calm myself down and like take stock of everything and make sure we're all in one piece, I have my hand on the horse's side with still my hand on the rein, and I'm like kind of like mumbling / whispering to it. I'm like, "It was very dangerous. I don't know what happened there. Did you fall or did I fall? I don't know what happened." And I'm like mumbling to it, just trying to dry myself off.
He finishes sneezing and he snorts, and you kind of hear like a little bit of a whinny, and Nemu would hear, "It certainly wasn't my fault. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't my fault. It must have been his."
He blames you for the misfortune.
I glare at the horse's eye when I hear
But Jax is laying there. He looks peaceful, like somebody, like maybe he just laid there to take a nap.
Is that Jax? Or is that a homeless person?
Are we all on the same side of the river?
Yeah, there'd be only one side of the river, right? Or from where you came from, there was only one traversable side of the river.
All right, then yeah, I lead the horse back over to where the group is and where Jax is.
It looks like Jax. I'm gonna walk over there and poke him. He's just laying on the ground. What does he look like?
Well, he's been taking a nap.
Like he's been sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just like kind of poke him a little bit with my. I have a staff. Never used my weapon. I have a whip. Yeah, I'll tickle his nose with my whip. Hello? Buddy? I didn't hear you.
That voice.
Oh.
I know that voice.
No. Jax is acting weirder than usual.
I'm gonna open my eyes and stand up, look around. My friends, it's good to see you again.
What? Boy, it looks like you got hit on the head really hard. Change the way your voice sounds.
No, I'm made whole.
Just scared Silas still leaving.
Silas booked it. He's like, oh, fuck.
Nope, out.
It's taken me a hot second to wrap my head around this too, because yeah.
You remember her name.
The chocolate ones are for Ari. She doesn't like the others.
And I want to wave the light like in front of his eyes to see if his eyes look weird in any way, and ask him if he remembers his name.
Do you want to see if he's coming back? I mean, he should be coming back.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Nope. It's not coming back ever.
Huh. That didn't work.
Hey, I'm Dorus now.
I know.
Close enough.
Okay, I'm the big elephant man now. Look at me do the deathy things. Black smoke everywhere.
So good.
Touch my belly.
What the fuck? It's in my ears. It would be touch my ears.
I didn't realize this was a roast tonight.
Oh, boy. Why? Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody share theirs. Doesn't help. That doesn't help at all.
And I completely broke the entire session.
I know. Hey, I don't think that's gonna help either. Fuck, work. No, that's not gonna help.
I tried.
I know.
I give up. It's the most I'm willing to.
His internet must have completely imploded.
Yeah, it must have. Let's send him a message. Yeah, he's even offline.
His internet took a poo-poo. Unfortunate. Give it like 5 minutes or so, and if he's not back, we should probably just keep going.
Yeah, he said his Wi-Fi went out.
Wi-Fi.
Should we take a break then?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Early break.
Yeah, early break. That's what I'm looking for.
Wi-Fi.
It was so perfect.
It really was.
It's great to see everyone again. Dies.
Yep.
All right, so we'll just come back to Jax coming awake, and all of us being like, "What the fuck?"
Nemu's poking me with a whip. What was it?
Tickling your nose.
Tickling your nose.
Yeah, I was tickling your nose.
Okay. That voice. I know that voice. Jax opens his eyes, looks around. My friends. It's good to see you again.
Does this look like Jax?
Jax, you don't take this the wrong way, buddy, but you sound quite a bit different.
Oh, Nemu. It's because I'm whole.
Oh, that's interesting.
That sounds sort of culty in a way.
Like an apple?
Yeah, I'm still waving my thing in front of his eyes to see if his eyes look weird in any way. The light.
I'm not following it.
You know what? I would say during this time, and Jax, if this is wrong, tell me it's wrong, that his eyes would be like a different color.
No, that's probably right.
Okay. Nothing odd, nothing like violet or teal, they're just different.
Then I ask, do you know who you are now?
Why, yes, Dorus. It is me. It is your friend. And I am complete again.
Like, what was missing before? How are you complete now and you weren't before?
Well, you see... And he just stares right at you, and then... Oh, fuck, I can't do this anymore. You should see the looks on your motherfucking faces. I got you guys. You look like you shit your pants.
Oh my god! His eyes immediately changed back to his normal color.
Woo, that was fun.
How'd you do that voice? It's impressive. Considering your normal voice.
It's not really hard. You just gotta kind of like pretend you get kicked in the nuts, and then oh, it's so hot! Oh no! Yeah, you know, it's just where the fuck are we? Weren't we by like some kind of hole before?
We're
What
in
with
that-
the tree?
Come again?
We followed the cave. You went with the tree.
Oh right, yeah, the tree guy. That was cool.
Did you
Did
learn
you-
anything?
Well, when you don't try to take a nap and you find yourself sleeping, it's a pretty good rest.
So you just took a long nap.
Yeah, I think I woke up here and there.
Huh.
It's all a little bit fuzzy, but that's what I got this thing for, and I kind of flicked the little ball.
I have to admit, friend, you did get me pretty good on that one.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought you had lost your shit there for a bit.
Oh God, I'd have to kill myself if I actually sounded like that normally.
I mean, might have to kill you as well.
I'm glad you're back in good spirits, and I'm glad that you arrived back safely. I thought it might be like Soli, we might never see you again.
Yeah, I couldn't do that to you guys.
Where is Sully anyway?
I still have hopes that he'll come back.
Yeah, same here. So anyways, what we up to?
The there's an eel in the water that was trying to attack us. Did you speak with it, Nimu?
No,
Nice.
I soothed it. No. I just didn't want to get eaten by him, so I made him happy. So he won't eat us now.
Well,
Then-
it seems we have hit a wall.
Well,
Or a smaller hole.
I mean, Jax is a non-druid. Maybe he can speak to it. Maybe he learned some things during his nap.
You know, I did learn some things. But, speaking with the animals. Can't say I learned that one. I did learn how to take that magic shit off, though. Like, you know, when like people get afflicted by magic? Yeah, I could take that off now.
That's good.
That's pretty cool.
That's a step in the right direction again.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know, when I was studying on the ways of the druids, I kind of just every morning need to kind of decide what I'm gonna do for the day, you know? And then focus on that. And I think I can do it. But right now, since I just woke up, I wasn't really planning on talking to any animals. Maybe tomorrow.
Well, we were following water because this is the corrupted water from the valley, but it seems like we have come to end of road, perhaps.
Y'all
Well-
can continue forward.
I mean, if you look over there, Doris, it keeps going. So, not that much end of a road. Just a darker road.
Increasingly difficult for Atmos here to continue.
You think it's safe to have them camp here?
Absolutely not.
I
Do we have a sense of like how many miles we've gone or anything underground?
It's been a ways. Like y'all started out after your long rest, so it was, in the morning. I would say you've probably been going through this area for hours now. And most of the way has been fairly easy going. It's just that one area that caused you to have a little mishap.
But we can continue upstream or no?
Yeah, you can continue upstream.
I think only way is forward. We keep following water to its source.
If my lights have gone out, I'm gonna resummon.
Yeah, I would just assume that you'd be constantly popping them.
Yeah. I'm gonna just can't constantly have it. It's a cantrip, so
Yeah, changing their colors or their shapes.
yeah, for sure. As we're walking through too, I'll just randomly be making the water, turning it into different like objects that I've seen,
Oh, that's cool.
like popping up little like splashes of, I don't know, different animals and shit like that.
I'm going to try and convince Atmos to continue forward.
How long does your speak with Anne?
Let's see. That's a good question.
In like 10 minutes.
There it is. 10 minutes. Yeah, it is 10 minutes.
So, sure, why not? We'll just say it lasted this long. Just cover my eyes so I don't see the upcoming death.
Your horse is very emo. He's not as stable as you would think.
My demise is ahead of us.
He seems to be very interested in his own death. It's quite odd for a horse.
I'm gonna make a joke and it's so bad.
He seems to be sad.
Now
How
you have to
often
say
do you
it.
play with your horse and talk to him?
Hold on. I'm dying in real life.
I'm just a pack mule. At least I get apples. But all the grain is gone.
It
All
is
the oats
true.
are gone.
He ate them all before we entered.
The apples are gone. There's no sun.
Well, it seems he's going like through a phase like my last horse did.
What do you mean a phase? All your horse is so sad.
What's going on? This is so good.
Like I said, I was gonna make a joke and it was really bad. Well,
Just cover my eyes.
I probably have like some cloth.
Okay. So, tie a blindfold over him. And he will it's a little slower as he can't see where he's going, but he will follow you if you just take his lead. Speak with animals fades. However,
Aww. I don't get to hear the horse anymore.
you do hear Nima flies over to him and just like lays across his neck up onto his head where his mane used to be, and just like is smoothing out what's left. And you can't hear what she's saying as she's just like doing that weird chitter that she does with Atomos, but you do hear before his voice fades, "I'm hideous, I know it. It's all gone. I can't shake my beautiful mane anymore."
You should spend more time with your horse.
And that's when it fades. And then Neva just...
He's very concerned about his mane. Nima.
Well, once we get out of here, we are going to have a spa day.
Spa day is the minimum that horse needs.
You guys, you
Did
put a
the horse-
horse in a cage.
Did the horse take the force damage that I took?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'll walk over to the horse and lay my hand on the side of his head and cast Cure Wounds on it. For 10 points of damage back.
He sighs and whinnies just slightly with a happier note. And then sneezes. But he seems to have appreciated it.
Let us go. We need to find where this water is being corrupted at.
So you continue on even further into this underground river system. And you can see in areas where there's a few places where you have to stretch to reach across. Areas that you can tell where little rivulets just kind of go off into various directions. In some places it widens, and other places it narrows. You even see a whirlpool here or there where you can assume probably the water has found its way into a weakness in the ground below and has made it to other areas of this part of Ralios. You begin to feel tired, and you know that naturally this would be about the end of the day. So you have been walking for a very long time, covering miles at this point. Underground. I worked really hard not to do the claustrophobic descriptions of this place like I have before. that didn't go over so well last campaign.
No, we were just like, I want to get the fuck out of here. That was Austin and I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, that was campaign 2? Campaign 1? Fuck, I don't know.
That might have been 1.
May have
I think
been
that was 1. That was the original Boulette's one. We went to a town where they were under siege by there was like a nest underground, and that may not have been Boulette's, but it was
It was
creature.
another creature.
And we went through the tunnels and went through all this shit, and we were down there for like hours.
Yeah, but
like,
there were
crawling
like
through tunnels and shit.
there were like living webs and all kinds of creepy shit under there.
Fuck that place.
It
Nope. It was a nope hole.
This area, while in some places are cramped, it is not as if you're squeezing through areas. So you do kind of have to hop, skip, and jump in some places as the water branches off, or the whirlpools where the water is going into other places. In those places, if you want to stop and take samples, you are more than welcome to. And as you begin to feel the exhaustion wearing down on you, you see in the water itself, I would say Nemu would probably be the first one to see it, as he's been looking for strange things. Small darting lights. Now, EOA, you notice that the glint on the scales of the fish that you caught earlier was most likely just from the light reflecting off of it. No bull. Fuck. It is a good session title. I'll have to use that.
Yep.
But the fish seems to be swimming against the tide, as it were. Though, Dorus, from where you came before, you knew that the flow of the water was incredibly strong. So you're not sure how this fish can be swimming against it at this point. I don't know if you want to reach down and investigate the strength of the river at this point, but I'm just.
I will. Wrote down that I took a sample of the whirlpool water, so I'll do the same here. Same as I did before. Put it in my hand and feel it.
So you reach down with your hand, and it doesn't drag your hand away. It is quite slow here. And as you're knelt down on the ground, you feel a faint rumbling in the ground. It would almost be like a very, very mild earthquake type feel. Even though the water is flowing.
We're not the end of the road yet, are we?
No.
I will thaumaturgy to try to match the vibrations in the ground. I can make like minor tremors in the ground with thaumaturgy.
Okay. So as you thaumaturgy these waves of energy of kinds into the ground, it doesn't seem to affect what's happening here naturally. And as you're waiting for some kind of reaction or reverberation, you realize that there's a low thrum in the air as well. And it's not as if it's just happening. You suddenly realize that it's not something that suddenly came upon you. It most likely has gradually been growing, but you're just now noticing it as y'all have finally stopped to not technically rest, but at least to gather some of the samples of water here. Which is odd, because the water is flowing much, much slower, but whatever this is growing louder.
You guys want me to take a gander and try to see what I can figure out about this place?
Yeah, buddy.
Because the water is much slower here, and there's some sort of vibration in the air.
Yeah, something seems off about it. But just give me a little bit to concentrate on the land here, and I can see what we can come up with.
All right, you're gonna do your meditation?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So Jax will sit down and commune with the area around you guys. I'm assuming Nemu takes the time to kind of investigate the area.
For sure, yeah. Like, I'd be really interested in a cave that goes underground. So I don't think Nemu would have the same issues with being claustrophobic as my previous characters. I think he'd be more interested in just anything that can show whether or not anybody else has been down here. Really.
Okay. So you catch flight, and the first thing you realize in your exhaustion you probably wouldn't have noticed is that the ceiling here seems much higher than it has been previously. You take your dancing lights up with you, and you notice that most of what's around you is stone versus just hard-packed dirt or clay. You must be getting closer to the mountains. This stone itself has the strangest properties. You see flecks of mica and what you can only assume is rough quartz veins through it, and then veins of something else as well, or just like little groups of some other mineral that you're just not familiar with within the stone.
I use my little pick to pick at it.
That would be interesting to do while you fly.
Yeah, I mean, I would try.
How high up is it?
I mean,
So I've got a little rock pick and everything.
I would say it's probably like 12 to 15 feet, whereas it's just kind of slowly opened up after that one narrow area. So yeah, you can try and do it over where your friends are so that stuff will just kind of fall down if you need to.
I see him kind of looking at it, and I like walk over to it, and I reach up with my trunk to see how close I can get.
You're a few feet short.
So
Just a bit too short. Maybe from the horse. Can you get on the horse and try?
You can fly up there and pick at it.
Okay.
yeah.
I was trying to get him perched of some sort. Is all I was trying to do.
Are we resting? Are we resting here for a time being?
I think his how long is your meditation? 10 minutes, an hour?
10 minutes.
Okay.
And then it covers a mile radius.
Yeah.
We just look around while he performs meditation. It's good rest. Good rest.
Yeah, I think I'd be up there picking at it, but I mean, I could just have my other hand underneath it and grab like whatever starts falling. Right?
Aren't your
So-
wings your hands?
I don't
Or
think
do Alan
so.
have hands?
I think the Owlin have arms and shit.
So they have arms and wings?
Like the air.
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Now?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're like owl people. They're not just like owls. I remember looking it up at one point. It's the only reason I was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Literally says here, Alan have arms and legs like other humanoids.
Yeah. We're not, we're just owl-ish. Honestly, we look kind of like angels with fucking weird-ass owl faces.
It's true.
Aren't you only like 2 feet tall though?
I'm only 3 feet tall, yeah.
2
Tiny
feet tall.
angel.
Okay. that's
So you
pretty
can
big.
pick. So when you create an owlin, you can pick whether you want to be medium or small. So I picked small.
So Nemo's up there chipping away at some of the strange stones. EOA, anything specific you're doing? Doris, are you doing anything else?
I'm just gonna be on lookout.
Okay.
I
So-
will sit cross-legged by the water, and just picked up a handful, like 2 hands worth of water, and I'm thaumaturging it to like make it boil with black ichor.
Very cool. Roll perception for me, EOA. So it is still wearing at your skin, even though the water here isn't moving as quickly. And as you change it, and the texture and the color, you can now more easily see the movement within. It is very similar to what is it, like the ferrous liquids that have like iron in it,
Like mercury, maybe?
where you use like a magnet on it and it kind of does weird things.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that, though of course in a minute level, very small. But it is a very disturbing sight to see.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to do anything. I was just playing with it. So I'll be like, Yahweh, do you see this? It's very strange water.
No, I can't see anything right now. I rolled a natural one.
Perfect.
Well,
Yeah,
unnatural
it's very
one.
small movements. Very small movements. So Ioway, you are keeping watch and you kind of glance over. You don't notice it, of course, if you're just glancing, because it's just something that you really need to look at. And Nimu, you begin chipping away at these strange stones above. You're able to catch a few chunks. Are you just chipping away at the strange ones, or are you chipping away at quartz as well in the mica?
Yeah, probably the quartz and everything. I mean, I'd want a sample of everything, I think.
Okay. So you're able to take a sample of everything. You fly down with the strange stones so that everybody can look at them if you wish. Jax, once you begin your meditation, the energy of this place takes you. It grabs you and just moves you in a billion different directions. You can feel above you where this mountain must stand, the Mindra Mountains must stand, and you can feel the pressure of the winds as they slam against this mountainside. And that energy just begins being absorbed by the mountain itself and pouring down through it quite a bit ahead of you. Maybe a little bit more than a mile. But you know that somewhere close is where this energy is being pulled into. You're not sure how, and it doesn't feel unnatural. It doesn't feel as if some kind of creature that is bad or evil in any way is doing it. This mountain has stood here for a very long time, and you know from the ruins that these winds have been part of the landscape for ages. Though you also know that the strange occurrences with the water have not always been a problem, because you were just in a town that thrived in a way, Halcombe, at the base of where this water trickles to. So that is still a mystery as to why it became such a problem, but
Weird.
you know whatever is ahead of you, it is not something to be feared or worried about.
Well, alright. So, whatever's, causing all the shit to go that way, we ain't gotta worry about it. Let's just go adventuring and see what it's about. Cause,
Ain't gotta worry about it.
yeah, there ain't nothing coming off of it that's anything to worry about.
What if we just took a drink of it then?
I mean, like, going to it is nothing to worry
Oh,
about. Drinking
Oh, no,
is...
drink, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
but I mean, if we got thirsty enough, would it make us crazy like the horse?
Well, I mean, look at it this way, Nemu. If you get stung by a jellyfish, you're supposed to piss on it, right? You're not supposed to drink the piss, just supposed to piss on it. Not supposed to fear it, just don't drink it. Same principle applies here.
Oh, you're supposed to pee on jellyfish stings?
Yeah, supposed to like...
What if you can't pee on yourself? You have somebody else pee on it for you?
Yeah.
What if
You know,
like
it's a-
they're out of pee and they've already got it out, and then you need somebody else to pee on it?
You're
And
thinking
now
too
you've got
much
two
about
people
this,
peeing
Nemu.
on you. Okay.
Yeah, There are some thoughts you want to just keep surface level, and other ones you can go diving down. This is one of the ones you want to keep just right up here at the top. Just kind of keep
I
it
see.
friendly. Think of it as like a bonding experience, and then just kind of cut off the thought there.
There's got to be some other way to fix the jellyfish thing.
An emergency situation.
Just want to know how many people have peed on each other.
Dor sighs and drops the water and stands up and says, "Please just don't drink water until we know more.
Right.
Don't drink pee either. It's not safe."
The dad of the variants.
Variant dad. Doris the only one with any sanity.
So, Nemu, as you go to stow away your stones in your pack, that one that was strange, you notice has it thrums much like Dorus was explaining the ground does here.
Weird. Okay. So it's got like an energy pulsing from it.
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay.
Yeah, I ask him, "What are the stones you found? Are they transparent in any way? Are they lively?"
I don't know. One of them makes a weird energy feeling thing. The other one doesn't seem to. I don't know. Here, take a look.
"Just hold up. I want to look at it."
Okay. Here
And
we
I
go.
wave the light behind it, trying to see if it's translucent in any way, if I can see anything moving inside, maybe.
Okay, the color is semi-transparent. It has a very strange, like muted blue color with a little tint of green to it.
If it's like a common reagent or like chemistry thing that I would have seen in my research, could I make like a history roll or something? Or arcana roll?
You can make a history roll on it. The DC is going to be pretty high as this isn't a common mineral that's used for any reason.
$10 total.
Yeah, you're not sure that you've ever seen this. The other two are fairly, innocuous. Though, of course, after being in Balance's chamber, it may not be. So the quartz, and then it's just mica, just flaky, metallic mineral. But this one seems a little bit strange. You don't notice any kind of movement within. But Nemu could tell you that just holding it, he feels that it was almost like dipping your hand in the water, just that strange feeling.
May be affected by same problems or powers of the water. So maybe keep it at hand just in case.
Okie dokie. Will do.
So, much like Jax had perceived, you begin walking forward, and it isn't long before you notice ahead of you is glowing just slightly. There seems to be some kind of light source ahead of you. And the fish EOA that you had seen in the water, or Nemu maybe had seen in the water, that had that strange light to it. You now see multiples of them darting around, different kinds and shapes of underwater creatures, darting around, and some of them eating each other, others plucking something off of the sides of these walls, even though the water moves incredibly much too fast for anything to really grow here. And that thrum that was in the air, that vibration in the ground grows louder and louder and louder.
So I'm going to begin playing like a kind of variation of the music that we would have heard during that. Like he's been working on his own musical rendition of the songs that were played at that spirit seance, whatever the hell we went to.
Shallow's Veil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's gonna make his own rendition of that, and I'm gonna cast Unearthly Chorus.
Okay, you'll have to explain to me exactly what that does.
Okay. Oh, was that the
So-
one I suggested?
Yeah. Yeah, so music of my style, of a style I choose, fills the air around you in a 30-foot radius. This music spreads around corners and can be heard from up to 100 feet away. It moves with me, centered on me for the duration. Until the spell ends, you make charisma checks with advantage. In addition, you can use an action on each of your turns to beguile one creature you choose within 30 feet of you that can see you and hear the music. The creature must make a charisma saving throw. If you or your companions are attacking it, the creature automatically succeeds on the saving throw. On a failure, it becomes friendly to you for as long as it can hear the music and for 1 hour thereafter. So it's basically, I'm just like a walking performance check. Like anybody that walks within can hear the music has to make a check.
Okay, so I need you to roll performance.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
You automatically gain advantage on performance.
Yeah.
And then you beguile someone, and then you gain advantage on the rest of the charisma checks.
Yeah. So 19.
Very nice. So as Nemu begins playing, and you continue forward, of course, the fish slow down their darting behaviors, and almost as in a dance of kinds, begin schooling together in their different types and making beautiful patterns within the water as the river continues to widen. In the areas you're walking, even those become wider and flatter. The vibration beneath your feet and your hand on the wall almost becomes uncomfortable to the point where when you pull your hand back, you can still feel it. And that loud thrum is now almost to the point where it drowns out all other sound, except for, of course, Nemu's song. As you move forward, you notice that this glow that's becoming brighter and brighter is coming from a large pool up ahead. It is bright enough to where you no longer need light sources. And Nemu specifically, because he's been looking for stuff like this, notices that the ground here is flattened to the point where it couldn't have been worn away by this water. He can definitively point out where the water originally escaped, whatever this pool is, and where whoever had been here before had carved out an area. You walk further in, and around this pool of water are platforms. It almost looks as if this was a place. There's other little pools of water as well. This almost looks as a place where people would come and relax and maybe even meditate. You can even see under the water itself, not where the river now flows out, but along the back where there are recessed seats. I need everybody to make perception checks for me.
Can I do it with my nose? I'd like to be sniffing the air here.
Yeah.
19.
10.
9.
Yeah. Random thoughts from Tim. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Jazz, I'm sorry. So 9, 19, and 10. You got a 16. I rolled 2 2s. Brilliant. So, Jax, as you walk out into this area, it has a feel of something that you're familiar with. An area that was once held as a place of peace, a place of reflection. This would be more of like the druid part of you, or any of the other parts of you that are now integrated that really like had a belief in taking themselves away from everything and reflecting on what life is, has been, and should be. Eoway, you're watching these fish dance and do their strange motions. And as you get closer and closer to where this pool is and begin kind of walking around to the little areas, you see places where people would easily have sat. Even an area which may have looked like could have held fires at one point for warmth. The energy in the air here is almost overwhelming. You don't know how you could stay here for any period of time without either going deaf from the sounds or being overwhelmed from the energy here. It's a very strange feeling. Jax, you have the sudden urge to wade into the pool. Nemu, as you're playing and looking around, you see reflections of whatever that stone was, that deep blue-green. You see veins, massive veins of this. Yeah, the one that have the energy field. And they all converge into this pool of water and spider up and into the mountain above you. From what you understand about this stone, just the little that you do, the conversations about being under the mountain, Jack's describing how the wind is just blowing its energy straight into this mountain. You can assume that somehow all of this is playing into everything that's happening here.
So I would tell everybody then that like everybody else can feel it, right?
It's loud in here. It is
Okay.
loud.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of hold my rock up to like the rest of the sound. Just kind of like, oh, it's this one, and kind of hold it up.
Is there any like drafts or like wind in here, like air movement?
You can roll perception.
$22.
Hey,
Wow. Yes, there is. You can. It's almost as if there's some kind of built-in airflow here, but you feel it being drawn off onto the left-hand side, where you notice that there's no more small, like, wading pools, and it's kind of tiered up off to the left, and you can assume that somewhere over there might be an area where the air can escape.
Is it
Yeah.
pretty dark in there still?
No, it's pretty bright.
Yeah, my staff is still lit, even though it's light in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's like 40-foot radius of dim light.
Is the opening big enough for all of us to fit?
If you were to go investigate it, it would be at one point it would have been, but it looks like after you go through a hallway that seemed to have been fairly large at one point, towards the end it has collapsed.
Was there any other openings besides the way we came?
No, not from here. It seems the river here only flows out in one direction. It doesn't seem to have found any other way out. No, where Dorus feels the air being like sucked out. There's an opening, but it looks like this hallway ends in like a collapsed area where there's just a small area where you might be able to squeeze through. But
so with our perception checks, can you describe the room really well besides the the veins?
So everybody's seen those like hot spring pools, right? That are like tiered up with different layers of like different areas where people can sit into the water and they're just tiered up. Whereas those are more rounded as they're naturally formed. These are purposefully created where the water and as everybody really starts investigating the area, you now see stalactites that hang down and drip water into these pools, filtered from the mountains above. It is crystal clear and probably the cleanest water you'll ever find, versus summoned water or something like that. And so the large pool at the bottom just kind of tears out a little bit off to the left and across the way, or off to the right and across the way, but up on the left, it just continues to get higher and higher and higher. And the pools go from 12 to 9 to 5, where it's only a couple spread out. And then there's just a few areas where you can assume people could sit around a fire perhaps and maybe share a meal or stories, until that hallway opens up, which goes maybe about 100 feet before you realize that it has collapsed, and it's at a slight angle up.
So, investigating this area, you said that there are places people could sit or whatever. Does this seem like it was some sort of ceremonial room? I would, if Nemu would be looking around, trying to find all that stuff. So
yeah, is there markings like old candles, anything that would be obvious people stuff?
Or just scorch marks of some sort, or
But she said there was like fire pits.
Yeah,
there would. The stone itself,
is there anything in them?
would be discolored, but not nearly as much as you would expect. This place has a very strange energy around it. It is almost as if the energy trapped in the very air here has scrubbed everything clean. There are no markings per se. You can get the idea that it would be could be a ritualistic thing, it could be a community thing, it could be a number of things, or it could have been used for all things.
I want to play that song, the spirit one.
I was so hoping you would say that.
Because I want to be able to see if I can commune with them.
Yeah.
With anything that may have been in here.
Okay, so make a... I'm trying to decide what role this is. You can make a performance check with advantage for this song specifically.
Jesus fucking Christ, 11.
Okay. And then I need you to make... I don't know, would this be like Arcana? There's not like a spirit roll. Let's do Arcana.
Okay. Normal?
Yeah.
11.
Seeing him try to be doing something, I just want to put my hand on and be like, you can do this, just feel the vibes, Nemu, and cast guidance on him.
Nice.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a 4, 6?
D4.
Ooh, 3, so 14.
Very nice. So,
Helpful.
Nemu, you begin playing this song. The Song of Spirits that Mita had taught you, it is not... It's not just for the person who's playing it. It's for everybody there. And as you begin the song and walking around the room, suddenly you see everybody would start to see spirits appear. But it's not as if these spirits are in the shallows. This is a memory held here within these stones. The thrumming dies down as light laughter fills the room, quiet conversations. Everybody can see this. Up on the higher areas, closer to the entry exit, and you see people walking in and out. The conversations are happy and energetic. People are wading into this great pool, and you just kind of see them stop and spread their arms out as they get about neck high and just start waving their arms in the water and taking these very deep, intentional breaths. And as they do, you see their spirit form, which was incredibly wispy before, begin to solidify as if they're absorbing the energy from this pool. Something that seems incredibly strange to everyone is none of these creatures are beings that you know from Avonvon today.
I was about to ask, what species were they?
What do they look like?
They are
Just like physical characteristics.
They are what most of you would understand as human-type creatures, though some of them are slimmer and more delicate with pointed ears. Others are not quite as delicate, but still have pointed ears. Soli would probably be able to describe some of them as peoples that she knows from her very brief time on Phenovis. But it's not just Phenovians that are here. There's also Jax, beings that you would recognize from your brief time away from your friends. And they seem to be wading into this pool and just breathing in and absorbing this energy. And it makes them just more whole. It's hard to explain.
So as I watch people doing this, though, I'm gonna walk in and replicate it.
Okay.
Like just getting carried away with what I'm seeing.
Can
Okay.
I do the same?
Yeah, of course, you can follow everybody in. A group of people walk in. For those that aren't wading into the pool, you see them walk in from the entryway, and incredibly wispy spirits, and they seem to be in not a heated discussion or argument, but they seem tense and sorrowful and incredibly upset about something going on outside of this area. So if anybody is interested in trying to go listen to what that conversation is, you can. Or follow.
I want to, but I want to like follow them towards the pool and just keep my light nearby so that it's lit better and I can see what happened.
Okay.
I don't trust the pool yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay attention to the one thing that's breaking the peacefulness of it and try to find out what's going on.
Okay. So Nemu and Eoway, I need y'all both to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay. Oh my god, my con is +0. Fuck.
16.
Okay. He's looking for something to boost his roll. Dorus, make a perception check or investigation check, depending on exactly how pointedly you're paying attention to.
12.
Okay.
I have none. I've already used it.
I want to investigate and I want to watch closely if anything seems to change colors or the waters start swirling around them or anything. Like I'm ready to pull them out. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. 8. Perfect. Okay. Jax begins walking towards the entrance as Nemu and Eoway, followed shortly by Dorus, the though Doro's staying on the edge, Nemo and Iwe begin wading into the pool. The fish are under your spell for like an hour, right?
No, it's
So
only
the-
10 minutes.
The song is 10 minutes, but I think it lasts for
Oh
an hour.
yeah, an hour. Yeah. I remember. Close it. Clicking the wrong shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check.
Yeah, it lasts for an hour.
Yeah, there we go.
So you both wade in, and the first thing you feel is the power that this water has absorbed. It is immense, and you don't understand how any creature had been able to sit there within the pool peacefully and absorb it. It begins to eat away at your feathers. It begins to smooth out, eat away your scales. It's abrasive, and you're just kind of lost in the moment for the time being, and you're trying to absorb this energy. But it is overwhelming. You feel an instant relief of tension and exhaustion and all of the things that you went through on your way up here, all of your worries, all of your fears, all of your sorrows from the events that have transpired, losing Soli and going through Shallowvale's fall and seeing your loved ones that have passed and being stuck on that other side. It all suddenly fades. But that exuberation and that energy becomes overwhelming to where you now don't know what to do with that energy. You feel like you need to fly in circles and circle the globe, or run and fight and just get it all out. Dorus, you see this kind of change in them as they go in and their bodies just relax. And just as suddenly as they relax, it begins to tense again, but in a different way. Iwe and Nemu, I won't say that you're charmed in any kind of way. So if you feel that this is overwhelming, you can exit the water.
Do they look like they're struggling at all?
That is up to them.
I'm gonna say as I grow tense, my rune magic is like going off under me.
Roll on the live magic table.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Iwe.
Fireball the pool.
Where's the unicorn?
What's up?
Oh, not fireball.
Yeah.
Blow what's up?
Oh, I turned medium.
You get big.
Yeah, my size increases by 1 size category for the next minute.
Oh,
Okay,
wait,
so
I'm gonna do the same in turn. I grow a size big too.
okay, that's interesting. So they both just suddenly begin swelling with this energy and growing larger and larger. Iwe now large, Nemu now standing the height of Jax. Jax, come right back to you, Dorus. Jax, as you wander over these spirits, and they make their way into this place, their form is a little bit darker than everybody who was here. It not in an evil way. You don't get any feel of they're here to do anything bad, or they're just scared. And one of them speaks up. We cannot continue like this. This is not a way to live. We must follow the others and leave before this all ceases to exist. I know, but this is all they've known. We'll tell them in 3 days. At the next festival, we'll tell them. We will all perish if we do not go. It's not a choice that we have, truly. I know. Let us have these last 3 days. And then we'll go to wherever it is that we'll call our new home. And they begin to make their way over to one of the smaller pools. They just kind of sit on the edge and dip their feet, and the female just lays her head on the shoulder of the other.
Can I detect thoughts on spirits?
You can try.
You can certainly try.
I want to figure out what they're talking about. Like, what are they afraid of? Why do they have to leave? That
Okay.
kind of stuff. Because it should be towards the top of their mind since they're talking about it.
Okay, so roll charisma. Roll a charisma roll for me. So they sit down on the edge of this pool and just dip their feet in, and that darkness seems to fade a little bit, and their spirit becomes just a little bit more opaque, gaining a little bit of substance. What did you roll?
18.
Very nice.
I have a 0 modifier, so I was like, oh, come on, roll big.
Oh, very
It's
nice.
the same problem I ran into with my shit. It's like 0 on a con, so I was trying to modify it.
The young woman especially, as you detect her thoughts, you realize she's not so young. She just looks so. And in her mind, she's going over what would be to a human multiple lifetimes of laughter and love and peace and children and visitors and friends from afar and their gods, the fall of their gods, everybody who has died in the wars, and how magic has been dwindling, and their ties to everything around them are just dying. And the only way that they can bring that back, even if briefly, is here. And in this particular place. And these people specifically have, from what they know, are the last of any known civilization on Ralios, this continent itself. But everybody else has either died in the wars and the fall of the gods, or has taken the portals out. And they're scared. They have a connection to Avenvon that they're just afraid to let go of, but they know it's time, and she's just trying to come to terms with that. Dorus, what are you gonna do?
I was just like standing by. If they look like struggling at all, I just want to help them out of the water. I'll say I ready my rope to be able to throw them a rope if they need.
Okay, I would say they
And
look...
then I see them grow, and I don't know.
Yeah, they're looking a little frantic. Not deer in headlights, but more like a child who's looking around for something to like release all this energy that they have, and there's just, they can't find exactly what they need to do so. So what would y'all be doing? Are y'all enjoying this sensation? Are you enjoying this overwhelming energy?
I think I'd get out, honestly.
Yeah. Like after a few moments, I'm like questioning everything. Like, I will say everyone notices like different parts of Yahweh just start glowing a tiny bit. Like all around his body. And then as soon as he realizes what's happening, it all fades. And then I'll get out.
Okay.
Can I observe the fish too? What are the fish doing during all this?
They're still just swimming peacefully around. So as Nimu and Ioe have absorbed some of this energy, they slow just a tiny bit. Not much, and not for very long, but just their energy level itself seems to have been diminished as Nimu and Ioe was absorbed some of it. Jax.
I would like to go sit down near the two people
Okay.
and then just kind of look over at them and be like, damn, this place truly is beautiful.
The woman kind of tilts her head your way. I'm hearing the echoes. Again. We need to go.
Hang on, are you calling me an echo?
She doesn't respond. She just kind of keeps her head tilted that way, as if listening. Simultaneous timelines.
It is. There's some shit going on.
If you're able to hear me, I have not found many places like this in this world. I want to see more like this. Is there any reaction?
Thinking. I'm gonna come back to you. I gotta look at a map.
Yeah. I will let you know I'm not looking for a specific location. I've got a thought in my head of where I'm trying to go with this, so it's
Okay.
more just seeing if she actually hears me.
Alright, so quickly I'm gonna move over to Dorus and Ioe and Nimu for
Yeah, I'm just helping them out of the water.
Okay.
Does that energy like persist, like as we leave?
Yes.
Can I ignite my sword on fire and see, like, is it enhanced at all?
It does not. It is not a lick of flame. It flares to life and is eager. That flame is fucking hungry to do something, and it's
I just
hot.
Stick
You,
it quickly into the water.
Yeah, it like immediately flash dries whatever part of your body that it was close to.
Are you alright? Do you feel okay?
Yeah, I feel energy.
That wasn't nearly as exciting as I thought it would be.
As I like lift Nimu out of the pool, grab his arm and heft him out, I'm like, I've never seen you look like this, my friend. You look quite hefty.
Oh, yes, well, you know, my magic misfires sometimes.
Do you feel the same energy that he does?
Yes, but it wasn't super pleasant. Overwhelming. And kind of painful. Certainly overwhelming. Whatever these were meant for, they were not meant for us. They were clearly meant for whatever these beings are with the pointy ears.
Real quick, is the only lights, you said it's pretty bright in here, is the only lights from the fish, or is like the water itself lighted? Is the minerals lighted?
I need you to roll investigation, arcana, anything along those lines.
I rolled Arcana for 15.
The air itself, it's like teeny tiny lightning bolts everywhere. You can't see them because they're so small, but it's the energy in the air itself. And now that you're paying attention, there is a small undercurrent of like ozone. So the air itself is igniting with the energy here. to create the light. I'm gonna switch over to Jax real quick. She doesn't answer you directly, but it's almost as if you've implanted a thought in her head. I wonder if those of Cosside have left yet.
Magic, in its purest form, is a sight that can't be described. I'm gonna take out Puds, and we'll be like, have some fun, little buddy, and see if they react to him in the magical water, because I don't know what the hell's gonna happen, but he loves himself some good water.
Yeah, he does. Man, if anybody hasn't seen Dr. Dolittle, I don't think anybody would really understand this. But there was a point in the movie where the little squishy, not Dr. Dolittle, what was the movie with the little squishy dude?
Flubber?
He gets Flubber, thank you. So at one point in the movie, he gets energized and he just starts bouncing everywhere and he's changing all of these shapes and doing all of these weird things. That right now is Puds. He unfortunately or fortunately has absorbed some of this energy, and you just see the water. He's moving so quick. He's moving so quickly that the water itself is changing shapes around him. They both kind of lean down into the water, and they don't seem to notice anything like drastic, but they notice a little bit of a change. And there's not even enough of us left to absorb enough of the energy, so it doesn't have these kinds of effects. Three more days.
If there was a way to restore it, would you tell me?
What will happen when we leave? With all of this? I don't know. I suppose it will come into balance on its own. And if not, maybe it will change things for the better. But only the ancients would be able to fix this. They're the ones who created it.
I think so would I be able to see Jax talking or sitting there?
Yeah, you'd see him sitting there next to this couple.
I'd be interested in what they're saying too. I think I'd go over there and figure out, like, I think just from afar that he's talking to him. And I'd be super interested. And knows.
Okay, you'd probably catch that last part about the ancients.
Okay, I'm just gonna listen.
Okay, Dorus, EOA. The energy will slowly dissipate from you, but it is a slow process. Like, Nemu thinks he's walking over there.
Yeah, I think
He
Doris
takes
would take
flight.
another sample of the water here.
Okay. Yeah, you can, like, it is like holding a tuning fork. It's so strong.
I'm just gonna like spend some time to just concentrate and release it in like various runes.
Okay. So you begin forming some of the runes and going over many of the steps that you have practiced numerous times from the Vareki, the what you have found. And EOA just kind of sinks into motions of practice forms with his swords. It's a beautiful display, if not a little bit exuberant in its form, but it does help you release quite a bit of that energy as the runes flare to life around you. Anything else, Jax?
Seeing Nemu come over, I'm just gonna kind of like motion to him to quietly come sit down, and they just kind of really lightly say to him so that way they can't hear any of the echoes, be like, we're between places right now, like, between times. I can't figure out if we're behind them or in front of them, but I think behind.
How weird.
Yeah. These two of all the places, of everyone here, they're the only ones kind of given the truth of this place. I'm curious if you could help me. Do you have a way to affect any of the structural integrity of this place? Like, not bring it down, just to make a lasting mark.
Mm.
I'm just kind of curious what will happen to it. And if,
Not really. Not without casting something like Magic Missile or something like that. Or like Ray of Frost or something.
yeah, because I could, like, bring down a whole wall, but that would be kind of a little too drastic.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Dancing Lights in here and just see what happens.
It's why I set Puds out there. He did something that they were able to faintly see, but not see exactly.
So the dancing lights are cast. And just kind of cast them out over the top of the water where Puds is. And the couple looks at each other. And then they slowly sink into the water, lower themselves into the shallow pool, just kind of sit on the bottom. Well, let's try to get rid of a little of the excess energy. And they both take a deep breath, those same purposeful breaths that you've seen others take in the large wading pool. And Puds slows down a little bit, but your lights become dimmer and dimmer as they inhale and then exhale, and then inhale and they dim a little bit more. And after, yeah, no, they don't go back to normal. Yeah, about the 6th or 7th breath, the light completely fades from your lights. And they continue to take a few more breaths, and Puds is still energized, but not nearly as much, as they seem to have absorbed some of the energy here in this pool itself and the surrounding areas. They'll do this for a little bit longer, and they both their forms solidify just a little bit more, but still a shade darker than everybody else's here. And they both look to each other, slowly stand up. Well, at least we can try and get as much prepared as we can before then. And they begin to walk out.
One last thing within hearing volume of them. I'm just gonna say, don't give up hope.
They both smile a bit as they look towards each other. And then as they're passing a few of the people that are coming in, you just see a couple people touch their opposite shoulder to them as if it's a sign of affection or maybe something else.
looking around with the idea that there are different eras in time overlapping in this place. Clothing-wise, does it look like you can tell like era changes that people are wearing, and we're just seeing different phases of them?
No, it seems all the same. Everybody seems to interact with one another when they pass. Some gripping wrists, some patting each other in the back or giving hugs. Others just a small nod, but you don't ever see the shoulder touch to anybody else. They all seem to be here.
Okay. Well, Nemo, what do you make of this?
Well, the fact that we can interact with them is interesting. I think they were in the past just because that's kind of what my song does.
The only weird thing is before you came over here and I tried speaking with them, they referred to, well, my voice, because it didn't seem like they saw us, as the echoes were speaking again. Usually echoes are something from the past. They were talking about that the magic of this world was leaving, and they had 3 days before they had to leave. I mean, this place looks pretty magical. I know it's not a fancy way to put it, but are we when it was strong and they're seeing it when it's weak?
I think whenever they lived, they had to have been used to a higher level of magic in the world than what we are. I think they were made for a different level of magic, because whatever they could withstand in that pool, Yahweh and I could not.
I was gonna say, you look a little bit taller.
Well, that's what happens when your magic goes awry. It happens. I don't know. I'll have to think about this, because it's like we were present, but it's like they were in the past as well.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just live here. Maybe they're just a part of this area, and we were just interacting with them.
There's lots of open ends. By the way, did that water hurt?
I mean, it didn't feel great.
But it's withstandable.
I mean, it was like taking a slightly hot shower.
Oh, I ain't bad.
His feathers look a little ruffled.
Yeah, my feathers don't look great.
They look a little bit rough.
It looked like somebody just stuck me in a dryer.
Yeah. I only ask because Puds is having a little too much fun. I might have to go in to get him out. I was just wondering what the experience was like.
Energizing.
Yeah.
Look at Yahweh. He's just crapping out runes everywhere.
Yeah, but
I
It's like
probably
a short circuit.
at least the growth thing is kind of normal for him. You, not so much. Him, that's just a Tuesday.
The most boring day of the week.
Dorvus, Eoway, what are y'all doing? The spirits will begin to fade.
Yeah, I would like to follow the gem, like the outcropping of gem stuff coming down from the ceiling to where it meets the water. And I'm just like shining the light on it. I want to see if there's like a loose piece or something I can take without actually breaking it. Kind of follow it up the wall.
Yeah, you would find some pieces that just over time with the power in this place would have rattled to where you could slip it out. I mean,
Cool.
it's a
I think
fairly
small gem
decent
then.
chunk, good pinky size piece of whatever this is.
If I have more time, there's something else I want to do, but it'll take me maybe 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I want to pull out my notes from when we were inside the chamber on top of the mountain there, and there was all kinds of different light colors and stuff on the map that I tried to mark down, and my notes are really crappy. But I want to see if this is one of the places that was on that map. It was like all the colors of the spectrum, you said.
No. It wasn't.
Okay.
I'm double checking that, but I don't believe it was.
Yeah, I'm just like after I grab a crystal, I just like I'm going through my notes trying to remember if this was a place that we saw anywhere marked in that chamber.
Okay, no, definitely not. Yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to do?
I'm gonna go in after Puds.
Okay.
So they were kind of called remnant spirits, right? So it's almost like a remnant of their spirit has been captured here. Maybe instead of leaving, they just like imprinted themselves on this area. I don't know. It's just a thought. Or part of them was imprinted here.
I walk back over carrying my notebook and like kind of flipping through it still. And I'm like, I don't think this was on the map we found on the spectral of the land, the seat of the land. It perhaps this is a place that even the spectrals did not know about.
Or perhaps they could come down here. Who knows? Maybe they didn't want to be down here. Maybe there's something with the energy here that they can't deal with.
He's still like flipping through his notes. He's pissed off that he can't figure out how they're related. And he's like, do you see anything in here that would corrupt the land or corrupt the people if they drink this water? Does it not seem like this is the source of corruption?
I'm trying to think of the things that we fought.
So
Do they seem corrupted, or do they just seem like highly?
Well, the villagers
they
drank
were
the villagers ate the animals that drank the water, and they got crazy. The pigs were crazy. That big bug thing we fought maybe was part of it.
But they were super aggressive, right? Like they were all on like PCP or something.
very
Right,
similar to
so-
how you felt when you were in the water.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's not really. I don't think it's a toxin. I think it has something to do with like this almost acting like a massive stimulant. Potentially, if they're drinking it for a long time, it might cause like large growth, or who the hell knows.
He like slaps his book shut, and he's like, "So you think this intensified whatever your original nature is intensifies it?"
I think it might drive you crazy if you drink it long enough. I would imagine it would make you. It seems to amplify everything, is what I could tell. Amplify, and if you drink it or consumed it for long enough, it might. Who knows what it would do to you? Make you big, make you aggressive, make you crazy.
Well, just standing in it,
Ooh, it's like bath salts.
just standing in it, caused us to experience this. What happened if we drinked it?
Consumed it all the time, right? It's like pure energy. It's like bathing in pure speed. PCP.
Let's just bottle up and sell energy drinks.
Oh shit! It's fucking like skooma and Elder Scrolls.
What
It's
is
like straight fucking? We could start, dude. Oh, we could start a drug empire.
what does your decanter do again?
My decanter. It replicates, I think. Let me see. I don't.
Fucking skooma.
Yeah. So I think we decided I could. I'm trying to remember because I was using it for my mom's like elixir.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like using it to. So if I put some in there, can I just replicate it? Screw this elixir. I'm gonna put some of that stuff in my,
Okay.
my vessel.
Jax, as you wade in, I need you to make a con save.
This stuff could be valuable. Ooh, a
17.
little drop on your tongue, and all of a sudden you're able to chop down that tree in no time. Performance enhancing drugs. I've got steroids. Yay.
Damn it.
Well,
Jack, go ahead.
well, we do need to get through that wall to get out, if we don't want to trek back all the way.
Jax can
Like-
bring down walls.
Jax can bring down walls and potentially an entire cave on top of it.
I can also turn into a giant.
I need to be small again.
How long
I'm
does
pretty
that
handy. I
last?
can move big stones if
I
needed.
believe it only lasts for a minute.
Yeah. I think he's right. I think it is.
Oh, okay, so it would have faded. So funny. Jax, as you wade into the water, you feel the same sensation against your skin. Anything that's currently touching the water, this is not a deep pool. So the energy begins absorbing up through your feet and then higher and higher. It's just above your knees at its deepest. And you feel your body under the water begin to shift. It's something you may not have experienced before, but your group did when the when Boar had touched your memory orb. But you feel your body begin to shift. It doesn't know what to do with the energy. It is doing the only thing that it can. So you go to retrieve Puds, and you grab him, and he's just like dancing around your hand and up your arm and bouncing on your shoulder and your head. You don't feel right now. You don't feel any of the pain that's associated. Like it doesn't feel like it's eating away at your skin or anything like that right now.
Is there any spot under the water that seems like is the core spot where maybe the magic is like converging at?
No.
Okay. It's just everything.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll walk back out.
Okay.
This is kind of fun. I don't know what you guys were talking about.
You went knee high. They went neck deep.
Not my fault.
So fun.
Yeah, I want to put the pendant in that motherfucker.
The broken one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, can we watch out if anyone's spying on us?
Yeah.
What time is it?
You would assume it's middle of the night. It is probably like midnight or 1. It has been a long, long walk. So are we like just throwing it in? Are you holding onto the chain,
No, I'm
dipping it
gonna
in?
hold on to the chain and dip like the broken part in.
All right. Perception if you're looking for a spy, EOA.
Oh, we know how well I'm with those.
Yep.
13.
13. You dip the pendant in, and you don't see anything, EOA. Nimu, you can feel the energy kind of creeping up the chain. But what you see under the water is the broken pieces of the gem begin to suddenly vibrate. So much so that if you leave it in, the pieces are going to begin falling out.
I might let it do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the pendant they were tracking us with, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, I wouldn't want them to come destroy this place though. If they were still able to track it, it might actually make it more of a lodestone if it like amplifies things.
yeah, too late now, buddy.
Oh,
Should
sad
have thought
day.
about that before.
You can
Roll for initiative.
you can jerk it out as soon as that realization comes to you.
Does it like polish it or shine it?
It would, yes.
I'll dip the whole thing in there and then grab it real quick.
Okay. So just to clean it,
Just because it's kind of cool.
which is actually very interesting, because as you just quickly dip in the rest and pull it out, any dirt or oils that had been built up have been cleaned away. And as you kind of like look around at everyone, you realize that any surface dirt has slowly faded away just from the energy in the air here.
Oh. Right, Bath.
Yeah. Animals in Moana. So what's next?
That's pretty cool, Nemo. Hey, did anybody else think to put their gift in the water, see what happens?
One is into my eye. I'm not sure I can take it out at will.
It
I
didn't seem to
activated my
affect.
rune.
Yeah, EOA's activated, but the decanter didn't seem to have any ill effects, which was Nemu's possibility.
Okay, so the possibilities were unaffected. Alright, well, are we gonna try to stop this shit from getting out and messing up more animals and villages? Like, should we try to contain it here?
I still am wondering if the powers here come from the mountain itself and these crystals bringing the powers into the air and the water. So I don't know that it's necessarily a negative thing, just has been released in a negative way.
That's the problem. I mean, by the sounds of it, it wasn't causing issues before. Something changed, now it's causing issues. So, are we going to contain it or try to make it go away?
I don't really want it to go away. It seems like it's an important part of the history here.
Then we should contain it.
The only thing I could think to do is to to obstruct the tunnel downstream.
Then maybe it'll like pool up this entire area, or like flood the tunnel.
That would be one way of preserving it.
Right, but wouldn't it just like blow up or something? I mean, how much pressure gets built up in a tunnel? Eventually, it's going to come out.
I mean, or it just balances itself.
Is the water source from the ceiling like dripping down, or is it like a natural spring coming up? Like, where's the water?
It's a
actually
little bit
coming
of
from?
both. The main pool in the center seems to be spring fed. The smaller pools are more like probably snow melt from the mountain. It's just precipitation.
Water.
It is the the energy of the wind slamming into the mountain that is being absorbed.
Right, so this, like, the rock in this mountain, like, absorbs. It does something with energy. That's these rocks that I grabbed.
I think this is just a natural process. Maybe we should just leave it be.
Yes, but this natural process killed a whole village of people. This is bad, right?
Well, they technically killed themselves.
So you blame village for where they settled.
I mean, we do have bigger fish to fry. Can't put our hand in all the puddings.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence too with what I want to do because I feel like this is I think Nemu for sure would think this is kind of a special place, but at the same time, like, doesn't want people getting hurt by it. So it's kind of what would have happened in the past. Why all of a sudden now is it an issue?
They could
straw.
handle in the past.
The straw that broke the camel's back. It's just slowly built up and built up and built up and built up. Everybody else had left, but those in Halcombe.
So if
They were
anything,
the furthest away from it.
Were the people in Halcombe animal races or were they other races?
Yeah.
so if anything, maybe on our way out, we just keep like testing shit to see where it ends, and then we can just start spreading the word. Like, hey, within this much distance, within a half a day's travel, don't fuck with anything and make this place like a reservation or something.
Is there a river that flows past into the sea? Or is it all underground?
You want to give all this energy to sharks and giant whales and things.
Yeah,
Well, it
but
has to go somewhere.
what if it dissipates over distance? I mean, something can't keep its strength infinitely, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does seem more powerful here at source. I agree.
Well, we can't blow up the mountain. We can't trap it in. So, it seems to me the only thing we can do is just let people know.
If we
From-
just trapped it in, it would make its own path somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying.
So there is no surface river truly. It
It's
is
getting into the groundwater.
Yeah, it's mainly groundwater, but y'all do know kind of just from this conversation that Halcombe was fairly far south. I mean, y'all have traveled multiple days now to get here. So they would have been at the end of the main part of this river. After this, it kind of forks out so that the energy does dissipate the further it goes. But anybody, small places aren't on here. So Halcombe was like right here. So you had to head southwest or northwest. Yeah. So y'all are like underneath the mountain.
Well, yeah. So the mountains go up against a lock. Tiverset.
People who wish to live in that region might just have to learn to adapt.
Yeah, but there have been no reports from the north, anywhere north of it. It's just that area that y'all know of. But it was really far southeast. So, you know what? Let me see if I can show you guys on stream.
Yeah, I'm just looking at a map here to see.
Second.
Do we have a vague idea of direction? Like, is the exit that's blocked to the north, maybe?
Yes.
We're in the Mindra Mountains, right?
Yeah, we're under them.
I'm going to use So let's say Halcombe is right about here. And as you made your way up to about here is where the old keep was, the old outpost was. So that was about a day and a half travel, I believe. And at the old outpost is where the creature lived. So that's where you entered its burrow and made your way even further up to about up. There we go. To about there. So that's about where you guys are. I know that's small, I'm sorry. I used to have a circle that did this thing and I don't have it anymore. So you can assume if you follow that out, there is a basin within the center of Mindrum. So you may end up in that basin.
I'm worried if we block tunnel to south, maybe old water will start going north and ruin something else.
I mean, maybe we should just keep trying to go through the tunnel and find the exit and see what's on the other side. Maybe that's part of it.
There may be another answer here, too. Like, if the rocks themselves are collecting the energy from the wind, and it has nowhere but the water to put the energy, right? What if we just gave the rocks another way to redirect it? Like, get someone who knows more than we do about this stuff, but maybe something like move some stuff to drive stakes into the mountain to let it just go up. And they can't hurt shit. You just redirect the energy to not go into the water system.
It sounds like a very large expedition and a lot more knowledge than I have to be able to facilitate.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we get people who know more about these types of rocks. See if you can transference the energy. And who knows, maybe you can even just transfer it to other things to help, like, actually use it in a good way.
How many
It
people
wouldn't be
do we
a-
want to tell about this, though?
It would be of interest to the council. I mean, they would definitely love to learn of this place and probably examine it, but I'm not sure that it's something they would even spend the resources on to do what you're saying.
Do people live in the Mindrum Mountains?
No. No. Nobody lives
I was
there.
about to say, if there's like a settlement nearby.
There is one, but I say nearby, it's not close. Dorus would probably be one of the only one who would know about Flourish. Flourish is technically a what do they call the humans and those from Phenovis? It's a place for those from Phenovis. It's kind of where
So
they
it's like
stuck
a
everybody
tribal
together.
type thing.
In a way, they just, yeah, damn dirty apes.
The displacements?
Yeah, so it's considered a displacement. Though it's been there for years and years and years, so it's fairly well settled at this point. And they have like their own farming and they have their own commerce and all of that. But
Is that in the basin?
no, it's outside of it.
So if there's no one in the basin, we could direct it to it.
I mean, redirect water to fill the basin.
Magical lake.
But
But
your
it would
same
be
point,
easier to protect people against it.
to your same point, though, eventually that's gonna overflow. It might take.
Perhaps it is an
years.
answer, though. It is a possibility. I mean, there are many options. I don't know that we will get a, obvious answer here.
But I mean, like I said, I think maybe we need to just inquire bigger minds than ours.
If we ever reach to a bigger city again and I can send a message, I will send to council, and I'm sure they will at least send a research team, if nothing else. Maybe more, I don't know.
Might be the easiest way to go when we can get back on our main goals here.
I feel like we should go north and check out the tunnel, though.
Oh, I agree. Like, we need to send the most intel we can about this place to let them assess it properly.
It is an option, yes.
Oh, we
All
still
in
need
favor?
to get out of here.
I say
I'd like to
we
see
could-
daylight again, yes.
At the word daylight, Atomos begins snorting and stomping.
I'll
Right,
turn
so
to
which- Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I'll turn to Jax. Shall we work together and free up that tunnel?
I mean, I'm all for working together, but if I'm gonna move the rocks, like, you're gonna want to be clear of it. Kind of like that shed. I don't want you to be the shed, you know?
So, Jax makes his way over to where the collapsed entryway is, and it's... What is it?
Well, there's two ways. Is it seem like it's fairly doable that the stuff will move, or does it seem like it's going to take a hell of a lot of effort?
I mean, there is a small area that Nimu may be able to squeeze through. Nima would be able to fit through. So there's an area of weakness that you can exploit from where it had collapsed.
Okay, so I'm going to turn around and be like, all right, we're going to do this another way. Y'all might want to plug your ears, though, because it's
Oh,
about to be
no.
loud as shit. And I'm going to use Thunderwave
Yep. So
rather than Erupt Earth, because that would be a little bit scary inside.
Yeah, I'll stand back in the main chamber and light with my staff as far as I can, but that's all I can do.
It's like, oh,
Luckily
what are you gonna
that-
do?
yeah, that loud thrumming in the air
I plug my ears.
dissipates the sound a little bit as you, Jax, you focus on just, to the bottom left of this weakness that you see here. And you cast Thunderwave. It echoes. And everybody sees dirt and debris suddenly explode out from this area. Now, it doesn't... A few stones and dirt kind of collapse down from above. Not in the area, not where you are specifically, but this exit that had been collapsed. It blows a large enough hole to where you can climb up a little bit and easily, it's not even squeezing through. Maybe for Jerus, but you can climb through. Though it is loud. And as you finish doing that, you hear a scream from the other side. And a familiar voice of Gallon. Really? You had to make such an entrance. I've been waiting here for 2 days, and you had to blow off the side of the mountain. Really? I was sleeping, but... Dinner's ready. Okay. And we can end the session there.
I was about to suggest we might want to send Nima through to scout it out.
Yeah, I was thinking me going through too. But I wanted Jax to blow shit up. So.
Yeah, of course.
That was the Leonin guy, right?
Yeah. Yep. But he only left a few hours before you, but it's a thing.
If he went in at a different area, who knows?
Well, we might be in the caldera of the mountain now.
Is Pepper with him?
You can't. Okay, so as you climb through, Pepper is with him, and she's like arched back, hissing at you guys. And there's just dirt and rocks kind of everywhere. And sitting out there, there's a couple of tents set up. and like even a little makeshift kitchen has been set up on some boulders. There's food. So what you Dorus would be able to smell. Eoway, you would notice it right away. There's some venison, and also look like maybe some roots and stuff that have been fried up. Some fried potatoes. Good hearty meal. Maybe some carrots thrown in there. And once again, there are exactly enough places to sit. Exactly enough logs have been cut for everybody to have a seat and enough plates to eat. Who? Stefafa? Stefafa?
Yep, he's just gonna appear out of nowhere all the time.
Had to make room for the horse.
I'm glad you found Zobreka. I've never been inside myself. But I hope you enjoyed it.
Well, now you can enjoy it too.
You have to spell that one for me when you get
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, drop that name in there. Zobreka. Hope everybody have fun.
Despite the internet giving out for me.
Yeah, despite that.
Definitely a lot of fun.
Holy shit, Jax. Is there a giant eel that you can turn into?
Yep, which because we already saw Neil,
Yeah.
I can probably turn into him.
Yep.
Well, technically you were sleeping, but
I woke up. I was
Yeah,
pretending to be sleeping.
That was so fucking funny.
he saw way more in the Fae than he's letting on, I'm pretty sure.
So funny. I am not giving anything.
That's classic. Great entrance by Jax. That was amazing.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, seriously going over everything that I had sent him earlier.
Yeah,
going,
I was like, oh my god, he's
what
turned
did
into
I
the
do?
general or some shit.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. Is there something in there that gave mixed messages?
I was like, oh my god, he remembered who he was before Jax. Oh crap.
It's so
That's
funny.
what I thought too. That was awesome.
I wasn't expecting this development so soon.
I know. It's so funny.
I thought about telling you earlier that I was gonna do something, but I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna surprise everybody.
Don't tell me that kind of stuff. Nope. I like to
It
be
makes
just
me
as
like the character
dumbfounded.
so much more though.
I know. It's like, oh my god, he has this deep-rooted sense of humor that's so fucked. Like, what?
Yep.
That was fun though. I'm gonna end stream. I'm so glad to be back.
See you, everybody.